Hey guys, Ferdy Santos. I wanted to share my COVID experience with you guys. So September 1st, my wife came home from her kids' night event at church, just feeling really, really sick, and she knew right away something was not right. By Sunday, September 5th, we did get her a test, and she did test positive for COVID. And then for me, around that time frame, that Sunday to maybe Monday morning, I started feeling sick myself. My body just started hurting. Fatigue set in. I was worn out. And then a cold started. Just a really, really bad cold. I started coughing up like crazy. By the 7th Tuesday, the cough had gotten so bad that I was trying to basically take whatever I can to get any kind of phlegm out of my system. But it was just getting really, really bad. By the 8th on Wednesday, I just couldn't breathe anymore. I was literally huffing for every little breath that I can have. My wife came home and she noticed that I was struggling like crazy. So she put me in the car. We went to Hoag Hospital. And by the time we got there, I was literally breathing like this. I mean, that was it. It was just gasping for air is literally what I can tell you. It got so bad that my wife went to go drop the car off. She dropped me off right there at the emergency, right at the emergency room, and I'm trying to check myself in, and I literally thought to myself, I'm gonna end up dying right here on the check-in while she drives the car. I mean, I was literally sitting there, and all I could take was little tiny breaths. I mean, I was literally gasping for air. By the time she came down, she went to go talk to the doctors, and they looked at me and literally just basically got me walking, took me in. I was in the emergency room right away, hooked me up to oxygen. And from there, it was just basically, I mean, literally a fight for my life. Thankfully, my wife was recovering from COVID, so they allowed her to stay a little longer. But when she left, I didn't know whether I was going to see her again. I didn't know. I didn't even know if I was going to make it through the night. I couldn't breathe. I was literally gasping for air. So that night when they admitted me, I said goodbye to my wife, and I didn't know whether I was going to see her again. Thankfully, I made it through the night. They told me to stay in the prone position as much as I could, because I was going to give me the best likelihood of surviving overnight. So as uncomfortable as it was being hooked up to the tubes with the oxygen for my face, I stayed on top of the pillow with my head right on it, and just trying to make it through the night. I think I maybe slept maybe 30 minutes that night. But for the most part, I was aware that I was breathing for my life. So that morning, I think Dr. Robinson walked in around, I want to say maybe 9 o'clock. As soon as he walked in, he looked at me and he said he was expecting the worst. That there was a likelihood that he was going to end up having to put me on a ventilator is what he thought when he walked in. But when he walked in and saw me, he just looked at me and basically said, "Man, you turned the corner." I know that night when my wife brought me in that she had our family and friends already praying for me. And thankful for the power of prayer, because the Lord let me live. Not only that, he let me turn the corner really fast. So Thursday morning, Dr. Robinson walks in and he's basically looking at me going, "Man, I was expecting the worst for you today. But you've turned the corner. You're not out of the woods." But he sat me down and he said, I have a couple of options for us. He said, I want to save your life. So I want to get you the best medicine as I can, that I can. So he had me apply for two research medicines that he was working on. Dr. Robinson is the infectious disease specialist for Hoag. So once again, an answered prayer. I'm working directly with the guy that knows what he's doing. He had me apply for the research medicine, and within an hour he came in and was excited that I was approved, and I was approved for the one that he recommended, that he was hoping that I would get. So he said, just be ready. For the next couple of days, you're just going to get pumped with medicine, but it's to save your life. And I trusted him. I trusted I was in good hands and that the Lord placed the right doctors in my life. So within the hour, they were putting IVs in me, taking blood samples, giving me all kinds of medicine. And once again, he told me, stay in your stomach as long as you can. And just be on the prone position, taking that oxygen. And so that's what I did. For the next 3 days, I literally stayed on my stomach and just fought for my life. And the Lord just answered every bit of that prayer that, to let me live. Every time he would come in on a daily basis, Dr. Robinson would come in and basically check up on me. He was amazed on how quickly my lungs were recovering and how clear they were getting as I was breathing. Because when he first took the initial test on that Thursday morning, I could barely breathe. Like I said, I couldn't even take a breath in. And I know it was very congested. There was a lot of, he could hear a lot of things in there. And it just started clearing up really, really fast. And I want to say I was admitted on the 8th on a Wednesday night. And to tell you the truth, by Friday or Saturday, the 10th or 11th, I was bugging him. I was like, what can I do to basically improve myself to get out of here? I was itching to get out of there. His biggest thing was he didn't want to release me early. He didn't want to release me early and basically come back again. And as you can see, I'm still have remnants of a cold. They did find blood clots in me. So one of the things that I'm taking now is blood thinners, which they gave me while I was there as well too. And they said that's just one of the side effects of having COVID, is blood clots. So not sure how long that's going to be going for. But on the 14th, when I was starting to improve really, really well, I finally had the courage to ask Dr. Robinson how bad it was. And he said if my wife hadn't brought me in that Wednesday night, I probably wouldn't be around. That I probably wouldn't made it. So even then, he didn't want to just send me home, even though I was looking good. So he kept me for another 2 days, I think. I finally came home, I think, on the 16th. But he was just amazed at how quickly I was recovering. And I don't attest that to anything I did. I attest that to the power of the Lord and just healing me while I was there. So I'm very thankful to be alive. I'm still struggling. My lungs still hurts. I could take a deep breath and it just feels like it's just catching right here, right in my chest. I know when I first came home on the 16th, I came home on the 16th, but on the 17th, when I woke up, I went up and down the stairs, I think like 3 times because I forgot something. But by the time I went downstairs, I was out of breath. So I have oxygen at home, taking all kinds of medicine still, taking the blood thinners, as I said, for the blood clots. Other than that, I asked him how bad it was. He said if my wife hadn't brought me in on the 8th, I wouldn't be around. So I'm just thankful to be alive. If you are in the hospital or if you are fighting this thing, if you catch it early enough, they did tell me that there is a medicine that they could have given me within like 3 to 6, I think before 6 days, that it would have given me a better fighting chance, that hopefully it wouldn't have come down to the COVID pneumonia that I experienced. But because I was a little late for that, I couldn't get that medicine. Other than that, if you're in the hospital fighting this thing, listen to the doctors. It's uncomfortable to sleep on your stomach. I'm not a stomach sleeper, but it gave me the best fighting chance possible. I know I didn't really sleep for the first couple of nights, I think, or even a couple of days, and I was just worn out. But I stayed on my stomach, and I think that's part of the reason why I stayed alive. So praise the Lord, I'm still around. And we'll keep this vlog going as much as I can. Take care and God bless.